tired of getting in there with a bloom handle, you know, but I can do it, you know.
Oh my goodness.
I'm okay, you know. I'm okay hanging my wash up in the house to dry it out to save money on electric. I'm okay with that, you know, doesn't matter. I did some repairs last night. I remodeled my house. The linoleum was coming up, so I found some little spacers and a nail, and I pounded that thing down, and then Christina got me a nice carpet strip. It looks new. It looks really nice. So, like, yeah.
Remodeling, huh?
Yeah. And I vacuumed and dusted, so that was like repainting the place, because it all has a new color. My house used to be black and white, now it's colored.
I used to decorate with VCRs.
Yeah, I still do.
Still do.
Okay, yeah.
That's okay.
There's no place that in my house where you can sit that you can't see a clock. You can't. You can't. In the bathroom, you can probably see 3. Because I'm an on-time person. I want to be focused. You know? I know people would shake their head, but I want to be trusted with $1 billion because I think it'd be fun to bring people into the kingdom by supplying what they need, both physically and at the same time mandatorily spiritually.
Wow, there's such a good example of that from last
Don't
week.
try to feed off my energy.
I mean, I think it was what we talked
Go,
about.
go.
We had someone that they really needed some money for stuff that they were just really struggling with, and it's been a problem for probably 10 years. Like they just didn't have money to pay for their rent and just different things. And so, you know, calling and asking for that, it's like Brian said, I knew there was no return on any investment there, and I also knew that the problem wasn't, you know, here's the money. You know, that wasn't the problem. But it was interesting for me as a conversation unfolded and saying, you guys can go out and do this. You know, rather than just giving, like Brian said, rather than just giving the check, saying, I'm going to enable you guys with the knowledge and the steps that it takes for you guys to take care of this. And I was amazed that it happened. They did it. And they're in a position now where they have what they need. Simply because you didn't just give them what they needed, but they went out and did it for themselves. And now what's happened is it's given them a whole new revelation of what's possible when they really want something.
There you go.
Whereas before it was, you know, what wasn't possible because of what we don't have. The focus is now what's possible because of what we can do.
But you see it.
It's pretty amazing.
Just see what happened. He could have gave him a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
They would have learned.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, there might be a time to give a sandwich,
Mhm.
but there's never a time not to reveal to
Give
somebody
it
who
with
they are.
something that
Yeah.
enables them to do it themselves.
I will not give spiritual food without
Yeah.
physical without the spiritual food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So count it all joy when you're placed in a position where you have to depend on the kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll get the blessing from it, which is knowing God in a more intimate way all the time. Okay? I'm going to tell you something big. Might throw something at me, it's okay. A lot of times, some people think, not a lot of times, sometimes. Okay. Sometimes people think that God's holding back on them. I don't think God denies you. I think sometimes you just lack the ability to receive. I know that in my own life. We've never ran out of employees, but it's probably the thing that tempts me to fear the most. Okay? Although we've never ran out of employees,
Yeah, that's good.
but the fear's still there.
Mm-hmm.
The potential fear is still there for that which has ever come. So I'm climbing up the ladder here, getting there, but I still need even more interaction with the impossible to finally make sure Goliath's head's completely off. You know? And interesting, whose sword did David use?
Glass.
Yeah. I think the thrill of your life can be when you take the weapons of the enemy
Yep.
and use it to defeat the enemy. His enemy is fear and deception. What I've realized is when I take that and I turn it back on them.
Yep.
Remember the story, I think it was Gideon, I'm not an Old Testament dude like you guys are, but where they broken lamps and everything, and people started killing each other, the enemy started killing each other. I just love that. You know, I just think that it's just like the coolest thing. You know, like, you know, yeah, why not, you know? See demons started, you know, like destroying each other. I just think that's so great. Because see, resist the devil and what happens?
He flees.
He has to. Because once his weapons don't work, he doesn't have a plan B. He doesn't go from a rifle to a pistol. He doesn't have anything.
Yeah, and really like even with Goliath, like the people were still gonna be afraid of him until his head was off. Even if he was knocked down. His head had to come off.
I can't prove it scripturally, but I believe that Goliath was terrorized by David. I think that Goliath,
Yeah.
I think that David was so extreme, and here's a whole army that wouldn't do anything, and this little punk comes out and defies him and stands up to him and comes running towards him. I really don't believe he knew how to handle it.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Okay, well, when you are faced with a demonic realm and them trying to beat your brains in, terrorize them, okay? When you face something that seems like an opposition, terrorize them.
Yep. And I'm sure fear had to say that. I'm sure he was thinking, what's this little kid got that I don't know about that he's so confident?
Because he never saw it before.
Yep.
I like to shock the demonic realm.
Yes.
I like when I can terrorize them. You want to cut that so I can use some bad language?
We are now cutting before we get to the good part.